All right, tonight, welcome to another 1776 Sons of Liberty live stream event. Today I'll be your host, Larry Faria, and my co-host here.
And I'm Adam Medeiros. I'm the incoming president. So this is actually John Darpley's last week at being president of the 1776ers. As of next month, I'll be the president, incoming, and we got a lot of good things planned. We've got some wonderful speakers coming up almost the entire month of September. We will get to hear the political voice of people who are asking us to vote for them, to actually hear what they have to say, question what they're saying, and get the response so we can make a rational and logical decision about how we are going to vote. Here at the 1776, we're not here telling you how to vote. We want you to be educated so you vote properly.
That being said, this next month is going to be filled with town halls every week other than Labor Day weekend. We have town halls for both city council races. We have a town hall with Adam and Robert Thayer for the Board of Supervisor race. On the 30th of next month, I have the Mayor, Hanford PD, and Hanford Fire coming in to speak to us about that tax initiative that they want to put forth. Tell us why they think they need it, and we can ask questions directly from the people in power who are going to spend that money. So lots of action-packed town halls coming up next month. Make sure you join us. We'll put a calendar up if we haven't already done so. I know Adam has a calendar on his page if you'd like to refer to that. But also, I want to say thank you to Sunday. There was a call to action for Mr. Gino Oliveira, and 1776 shared the post. We had a lot of members, a lot of board members go out and show our respect. And I think, Adam, maybe you speak a little bit about that. And Gene?
Yeah, Gene is a personal friend. I've known him most of my life. He actually used to terrorize me when I was a child. He literally would hold me upside down by my ankles and stick my head in a bucket until I freaked out, because he'd got back from Vietnam and had his kneecap shot off. And so he couldn't catch me anymore. So I would just terrorize him. But every now and then he would catch me. And so he's a dear friend, but it was so encouraging to see about, my estimation, it was probably 300 people lining the street. And it was beautiful. And when he came out of that ambulance, when that ambulance opened up, and there was Gene laying down like this. He knew it. He goes, no, these are my people. I'm proud to be here. I'm part of you. It was one of the most patriotic moments I've had in a long time. So our prayers, our thoughts go out to him. His battle is an uphill battle, but he's a fighter, and we are prayer warriors. And so this is how we're going to deal with it. But it was amazing, and I think all of you that went, all of you that encouraged people to go, it was amazing.
All right, so the guest of honor today, Miss Emily Carpenter. Give her a hand. I've known Emily forever, since she was a baby, so I'm proud to have her speak at our organization and what she's doing in her life. She was slated to speak a couple weeks ago. However, she didn't feel well, but she's looking like $1 million today. So without further ado, let us know what you're doing.
Now,
all right, we just switched.
If you want to mount it. Yeah. There you go. And just move it anywhere.
Hi, my name is Emily Carpenter. Did you know 1 in 285 U.S. children will be diagnosed with cancer before they turn 20 years old? Hello, my name is Emily Carpenter, and I am 1 in 285. I'm 18 years old and a 4-time cancer survivor. I am also the founder of Golden Positivity, a nonprofit working to help teens battling childhood cancer. My journey with cancer started when I was just 9 years old. In March of 2015, I started to experience extreme fatigue. This was very unusual, as I was an active 4th grader that loved school and played competitive soccer and softball. I was usually an early bird, excited to go to school, but instead, my mom could hardly get me out of bed. My parents scheduled a doctor's appointment with my pediatrician where I was tested for mono, the flu, and strep throat. However, every test came back negative. The next step was blood work, so we headed to the lab where I would get my blood drawn for the first time, unaware that many more times were to come. A few days later, we were headed to my softball game when we received a call from the doctor. He explained he needed us to come to the clinic for results immediately. We arrived at an empty office with only the doctor there. He put my parents and I into a tiny room and started to share the results. I couldn't understand anything they were saying, but the look on my parents' face and the energy in the room made me very uneasy. Our next directions were to be at Valley Children's very early the next morning to get more tests done. The following day, we arrived, and they would start an IV and put me to sleep for a bone marrow biopsy. This procedure consists of inserting a needle into the back of your hip bone where they remove bone marrow for it to be sent off and tested. We received the results the same day, which would validate the speculations. On March 27, 2015, I was officially diagnosed with low-risk acute myeloid leukemia. The next day, I would have a central line placed, which is a catheter that sits on my chest. It's connected to a large vein leading directly to my heart. I then started 4 rounds of intense chemotherapy, each cycle consisting of 1 week of chemo, which would come with horrendous side effects. Then I would spend the next 3 to 4 weeks in isolation, waiting for my immune system to recover. Once my counts recovered, I would be sent home for a week and then return to the hospital and start the process all over again. By July of 2015, I finished my final round and was in remission. I attempted to go back to normal life, but quickly realized that there is no such thing as normal life after cancer. I would struggle with school, fitting back in with my friends, and getting back to competitive sports. I would do this for a little over a year until I was at a routine checkup and my blood test results came back abnormal. I had just started the 6th grade and would be ripped away from everyday life once again. I had another bone marrow biopsy to confirm the relapse, and they would place another central line. This treatment would be different. I received 1 round of chemo and was then sent to Lucile Packard Children's Hospital, Stanford, to receive a bone marrow transplant. This process started by being admitted to the hospital and receiving 10 days of the toughest chemo. The chemo would completely kill my immune system to the point where it would never recover on its own. Then on the 11th day, I would receive the bone marrow from my donor, who was also my little sister, Maddie. She was a perfect match, so her bone marrow was retrieved using a very similar method as the bone marrow biopsy. They would then give me the bone marrow using my central line that was placed on the left side of my chest. The months following, we would wait for engraftment, and I would be isolated within those 4 walls, with the only people coming in and out was the medical staff and my immediate family. I would spend both Christmas and New Year's in that tiny room, chained to an IV pole, wondering when I could leave. During this time, my body was very fragile, and there were many things that could go wrong. After dealing with a few complications, my sister's bone marrow was finally engrafted, and I was able to leave the hospital. However, we had to stay within a 5-mile radius for about 50 days. After this milestone, we were able to return home, where I continued my recovery. 6 months later, I started the 7th grade. This adjustment was even harder than the first. I was not welcome back to my competitive soccer team, and my friends were not the same as I knew them. We had grown in different directions, as kids do, so I adapted and continued my schooling. Around this time was when I first had the goal to one day start a nonprofit organization. While in the hospital, I received an immense amount of support and kindness from others, and I needed to find a way to share this kindness with people who have been in the same position that I have. Life kept moving, and I became very busy starting high school, playing 2 sports, and being highly involved in ASB and FFA. So this idea quickly fell to the back of my priorities. I continued with my checkups and was finally put in the survivorship program, where I would only be seen once a year. Shortly after celebrating my 7 years post-transplant, or as we like to call it, my rebirth, I started to experience an excruciating pain in my leg that would wake me up in the middle of the night. It was some of the worst pain I've ever experienced. I would take ibuprofen around the clock and it would hardly help. One night I came home and my leg had swelled up and was red and warm. I was playing soccer at the time, so our first thought was a sports injury. I went to the doctor the following day, and he said he didn't know what it was, but he didn't think it was a sports injury. That night, we went to the ER in the fear of it being a blood clot. They did an ultrasound and found no blood clot, and an x-ray and found no fracture. They sent me home advising me to do physical therapy, but then I started getting night sweats, low appetite, and weight loss. We were then referred to an orthopedic specialist. At this appointment, the doctor did more x-rays and found that the leg causing all the pain was significantly shorter than the other. It was a relief because we finally had an answer. The doctor also ordered an MRI to be sure nothing else was damaged. In mid-February, they did the MRI, and halfway through, they said they wanted more images of my leg, and that's when I knew something was wrong. The MRI finished, and as I walked out, I found my dad already on the phone with the radiologist, and I could tell it was not good. I was then admitted to the cancer unit, and we met with my oncologist the next day, who I knew very well from previous treatments. He went over the images with us, showing a large mass in one leg that took up most of my femur and the surrounding soft tissue, and another smaller tumor in my other femur. I then had a biopsy the next day, which confirmed the diagnosis of metastatic Ewing sarcoma. This would be considered a secondary cancer, most likely caused by the treatments used to treat my past diagnosis. If you're unfamiliar with chemotherapy, it is highly toxic. 95% of survivors deal with significant health issues before the age of 45. When nurses come in to administer it, they must be chemo-certified and wear a gown, gloves, mask, and protective eyewear. If the chemo was to spill, they must call a hazmat team that arrives in full hazmat suits to clean it up. The toxic treatments have not only caused a secondary cancer, but I also deal with ovarian failure and thyroid issues. I was halfway through my senior year, once again thrown into a hospital bed to be poked like a pincushion and pumped full of poison. I lost one of the most important things to a teenager, my independence. I could no longer drive, go out with friends, go to school, and my plans to attend Cal Poly were wrecked. They placed another central line. This time it would be a little different. It would sit under the skin, and they would have to stick a large needle into it whenever they needed to use it. I started chemotherapy, which of course came with all the side effects, and we prayed it would kill the cancer and not me. I attended my senior prom and graduation with drawn-on eyebrows and fake lashes. I watched my friends leave to college as I was stuck in a hospital bed. After 6 rounds of chemo, they were able to do a limb salvation tumor resection surgery. This was an 8-hour surgery which consisted of the removal of half my femur and a full knee replacement. I spent 4 months on crutches and a wheelchair and became even less independent. Now, over a year later, I still attend physical therapy and deal with significant mobility issues. Just to add to everything else that has been taken away from me, I can't even do something as simple as jump or run. I had 6 weeks of radiation following the surgery on the main tumor and 5 days on the metastasis. This is done by a large machine that shoots radiation to specific locations. So each day I would have to be placed in the same exact positioning. To maintain accuracy, I received 3 tattoos, and they would use this mesh plastic to bolt my leg down to the table. This left painful burns on my leg and a risk for more aggressive cancers in the future. I then started the second half of chemotherapy, where they had to remove one of the chemos from the rest of my treatment plan because I had exceeded the lifetime dose. This chemo is nicknamed the Red Devil, just because of how potent it is. This was a tough decision as we had to choose between protecting my heart or following the treatment plan for the best outcome. In January of this year, I finished my final cycle, number 14. After finishing treatment, I was again preparing to attend Cal Poly this next month to major in biomedical engineering. But in June, when I had routine scans done, they unfortunately did not come back clear. After further scans and a biopsy, the doctors have confirmed that the cancer is back. I had my 4th central line placed, I had cyberknife radiation at Stanford, and I started chemo 2 weeks ago. I will continue to do chemo, and in about 1 to 2 months, I will have more scans done to find out if it is working. I'm looking at about another 9 months of treatment until I can hopefully get back to my college plans. Please pray that this will kill the cancer once and for all. Due to all the kindness I have received throughout my treatments, I decided to start Golden Positivity to provide the same support I received. A positive mindset is half the battle when it comes to fighting cancer, so any bit of kindness I can provide to help boost that mindset and bring happiness is what I'm here to do. During the last few months of my treatment, the idea of starting a nonprofit came to my mind again. After lots of time and research, I've officially started a 501c3 called Golden Positivity. Our board is made up of Mia Gillum, Isabella Mello, and Bodhi Vigario, who's also sitting in the back of the room. Bodhi Vigario is a childhood brain cancer survivor as well. So if you want to give it up for him real quick. But the mission of Golden Positivity is to strive to be a positive light in a time of darkness for those battling childhood cancer. We donate gifts to teens at Valley Children's Hospital. Our positive packages are personalized to each teenager with items to help with side effects from treatment, gift cards, and crafts to keep them busy when they are spending long days in the hospital. The goal of our nonprofit is to make what we donate personalized with a focus on teenagers. After being through cancer treatment as a 9-year-old and as a 17-year-old, I have found that there are many more resources for the young ones going through cancer, while teenagers are often forgotten. I know that no matter how small a gift is, it can make a huge difference. Even if it's just for an hour or a day, it helps get their mind off the nightmare that they are living. Golden Positivity is also working to advocate for childhood cancer and educate others. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month and will be a big month for Golden Positivity. I have contacted the mayor in hopes of getting a proclamation to officially declare September as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month in the city of Hanford. I will be taking action by attending CureFest in Washington, D.C. CureFest is a conference where people gather to honor, celebrate, and fight for those affected by this horrible disease. I will climb Capitol Hill and talk to congressmen and senators to push for legislation to increase funding and resources for childhood cancer. I will also get to connect with other nonprofits and people involved with our same mission. Also coming up next month, we will be holding a raffle for a $500 Sportsman's Warehouse gift card. So if you're interested, stay tuned on our social media or let me know. Childhood cancer is not rare and is the #1 leading cause of death by disease in children. However, only 4% of the federal government's cancer research budget goes to pediatric cancer research. Unfortunately, not many are aware of this and usually aren't aware until it's their own child or grandchild. With your help, we can make the gold ribbon to be as recognizable as the pink ribbon. I want to thank Larry Faria and John Darpley for inviting me to speak tonight, as well as you guys for taking the time to listen to my story. Thank you.
Let's give her a hand. That might be the first time I shed a tear at a 1776 meeting.
I know it. No, that was, I think if anybody would have heckled, I think I would have slapped him. Man, that was amazing. What a testimony of hope through what we would think no one could bear. God bless you. It's such a sweet thing.
So on behalf of 1776, we'd like to donate to Golden Positivity. We'd like to start you out with $1,000, and hopefully that'll go towards your goals of spreading some positivity. Thank you. if you stick around, we'll get. Can you stick around for a couple minutes? Yeah. We'll get some pictures.
And we'll get to the actual check.
Okay. And yeah, you.
I take these to the bank all the time. They won't give me nothing. It's so weird. It's big. They won't do it.
All right. In the spirit of giving, we have a couple other organizations that we're going to recognize tonight. And what time is it, Adam? Somebody give me a time check. Oh, we got plenty of time. You have a question?
I do have a question. So where do we go? Like, how do we do
Oh, sure. Emily, can you do one more thing for us and tell people how they can support you, how to find you?
So I brought a few little postcards that have some of my information on it, but I do have Instagram and Facebook, as well as an email. The Facebook should be under Golden Positivity, and the Instagram is golden_positivity_. But I have cards, or I can write it down for you. So.
And we'll set these up in the back. Anybody interested, please just pick them up, get them. You guys know the drill.
We'll post a link to your page on our page, and if you're following the live stream, you can go there and donate. Thank you so much. One more hand for Emily. All right, Missy Chavez, I know that's going to be hard to follow, but come up here and tell us a little bit about your organization, and then I know you're a return donation. I think we've given to your organization maybe 2 or 3 years in the past. Wreaths Across America is something that we're passionate about. That's something that 1776 members participate in every year to go help put out wreaths and pick up wreaths. That's one of the two things that I really think if you haven't been involved, you should get involved. I know Adam's been out there with me, and it's a heartfelt thing to do for the people that gave everything in the past. So I don't want to get into your wheelhouse, so go ahead and let us know about your organization and also at the end how people can support you.
All right. Hello, and thank you for having me and us once again. I'm here representing the Kings County Wreaths Across America, and I just thank you so much for your very generous support that you have given over the past few years with volunteers and your presence and just being there for everything that we need help with to put it all on in December. And then also your very generous donations, as Larry said, that you have donated. I believe this is the 3rd year now. This is our 6th year doing Wreaths Across America. And as Larry said, what we do we fundraise all year long. And in December, we have a ceremony. Our ceremony this year is Saturday, December 14th at 11 a.m. at the Grangeville Cemetery in Armona. And we have a short little ceremony, and then we have the laying of the wreaths. And everybody is invited to come and help us lay wreaths. We have a crew of people who come out the week before to mark all the graves. And that's one thing that we need more help with this year. As we've grown, and become more known and gotten more help and support from you guys and other groups as well. Our goal this year is really ramping up to mark every single veteran's grave. In the past, we've had to kind of limit it to just marking the graves that have some kind of military designation on the grave site. Because that's the easiest and fastest way. But as we've grown and we're really ramping up to mark all of the veteran graves, even if they don't have any type of military designation on their headstone, which takes a lot of manpower, a lot of extra work and research. And so I don't know if I can pass around. I have a sign-up list if you want to volunteer in any way.
Sure, we can.
You can put your name and phone number, and then I'll be contacting you and letting you know of all the different volunteer opportunities that we have. Yes, Gary? Are you going to have, like last year, a Hanford and a wall? This year we are covering Lemoore, Grangeville, and Calvary cemeteries. Yeah, and this year we are further along in covering all the, so like I said, we fundraise all year long it's live fresh wreaths every year that we place. So basically people have to donate money, or you can go online to sponsor. They call it sponsoring a wreath, which is basically like purchasing a wreath that will go to our location. And we're very close to being fully covered already for this year, and our ceremony's in December, so we're a lot more ahead than we normally are, which is great. I wanted to tell you guys, I'm looking at my notes real quick, one highlight we do have a board that meets every month, and as we started back up again this month, we always go over like highlights and what we did good, what could be improved, but we all agreed, and it was like unanimous that a highlight, and if those of you who attended the ceremony, you may have seen this gentleman. So with the ceremony, we have what we call ceremonial wreaths, one wreath for each branch of the military that we place up on display, and we have veterans of that branch go to place the wreath. And we have one gentleman, I believe he was for the Navy, that he can't even stand on his own. And it just was really touching that he's been there. This was his second year doing it, and it was even harder for him this year to get out, but he really, really wanted to do it. Meant a lot to him, and he needed 2 young men on each side of him to help him stand up and walk him up there to place that wreath, and it just meant so much to him and all of our veterans. We purchase, those of you who have been in the military, or if you're in the military, they exchange the challenge coins, and Wreaths Across America has challenge coins. So for those veterans who place those ceremonial wreaths, we give them a challenge coin, and they just break down crying getting that. So we're honoring those veterans who have passed, but it definitely touches those veterans who are still living. So I think I've said everything that I wanted to say, but and thank you again for your time.
No, thank you. Thank you for your time. And if you haven't been involved, it's not just, walking through the cemetery and laying wreaths down. It's you lay the wreath down and you say the veteran's name. There's so many times when, people who have given that ultimate sacrifice, the dread of society is you just forget about them. Well, this way they'll never be forgotten. They'll be remembered, and their name will be spoken out, and as a remember and a remindance for everybody that they did give that ultimate sacrifice.
Well, Missy, on behalf of 1776 Sons of Liberty, we'd like to present you with an $800 check to buy some more wreaths for our veterans that have passed. Thank you. Adam, you want to bring on the next one?
Oh, sorry. I do have flyers that I'll put in the back as well too.
Sure. So anybody want to there's information. She'll have flyers in the back. If you did not sign up coming around and you want to, I'm sure the clipboard can be in the back also. So you find your way back there, sign up.
And also, Missy, I know you have a social media site,
yeah,
right?
I don't think it's on here. I was just looking. So we are on Facebook. It's Kings County Wreaths Across America.
And then I know you can give through your webs through the site, and then you also do raffles a couple times, once a year, right?
Yes.
So be on the lookout for that if you want to donate. But again, if you want a way to volunteer, a heartfelt, patriotic event to do, that is it. Between that and Avenue of Flags, where we put up the flags for Veterans Day, there's not a more patriotic event that this town puts on. And I'm telling you, it's not. You won't be helping her. You'll help yourself out, your heart.
Amen.
All right, thank you.
Amen. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you. Well, now we'd like to have come up next. Thank you. A great round of applause. The K9 Foundation, group that does, the Hanford PD, all the dogs you see on the K9. Guess what? Your tax dollars don't pay for those. There is a private Foundation that funds the purchasing of those dogs, the training that goes on, and we want to be a part of supporting that.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Steve.
So the K9 Foundation was started in 2012, so we've been going 12 years.
Right into it.
And it was started by a group of officers who, City of Hanford never had a K9, and if they needed one, they would have to request the Sheriff's Department. There was never money from the city to be able to purchase it. It was just wasn't there. So the foundation was started to be able to purchase a dog. Started with one dog. We've been up to 4. We're down to 3. We need to purchase another one. And your tax dollars have not gone to purchase a dog. We've been able to purchase all the dogs and some of the equipment to go along with those dogs without your tax dollars having to do it. And we do that by donations from businesses, individuals. We sell T-shirts. We have a big brew fest once a year. That's our big fundraiser. And that's what we do. And over here is Chad Medeiros. And he can tell you a little bit more on the program. He's in charge of the program. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't want to jump in. I won't jump in on everybody, but you guys notice how extremely good looking this kid is? Does he look? I mean, is there a little resemblance?
There's a lot of our family here.
Oh, I'm so proud of him. This is my nephew. This is my brother's number 4 son, and so I'm very proud of Chad. He's amazing.
So I didn't think I was coming here to speak on this. I actually came to watch my awesome cousin Daniel come and talk. I'm excited about that. But for the K9 program, we are allotted for 4 dogs. We have 4 shifts on patrol. So that would allow for 1 dog per shift, night shift, day shift, weekend shifts. We're down that 1 right now. We're hoping to fill it early next year, maybe the end of this year. We use Gold Coast K9 up in LA. The dog goes up there, or the handler goes up there, meets the dog, trains there for 6 weeks, and then starts on patrol with that dog. I mean, they last a number of years, so it's a great benefit. They're dual purpose, finding narcotics and also apprehension, finding bad guys and apprehending them. It's a great tool for the city, so I don't know what else to say on it.
Jeff, you got a question?
Yeah, I just want to know, so you got 3 now, and it takes a while to train them, so barring injury, how soon will we need another dog, saying that they're all healthy and they.
I mean, it's nice to have 4 actively at all times. You really never know what could happen, such as my dog whenever he went out during his last incident. I mean, whenever they go out, that shift is just down the dog, and at the end of the day, you just got to request it from county if they end up having a dog. They're just another tool that we get to utilize to reduce risk for. I would think if we increase to 5, that would on a special.
We have an upcoming fundraiser, Oktoberfest. That's another one we like to participate in. We usually have a booth where we serve alcohol for them, and it's just a really good time, really good energy. It's a great event. So Stephen will tell you a little bit about it.
Yes, we'll have tickets. It's this October. We have it every October. It's all you can drink. We have lots of specialty beers, live band. As you guys know, costs have been going up increasingly. So this year we're doing the food to keep the ticket prices down. We're still going to have food vendors, but they'll be charging for the food. We used to include the food in the price, but when you start spending more money on food than beer, you have to start making changes because it's not a food fest, it's a beer fest.
So what you were saying is the K9s were better under a Trump administration than a Harris, than a Biden administration?
We're not getting political.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, but what we do is to save the taxpayers' money. And we do it all with private money and have a good program. And I know Chad doesn't like to toot his horn, but didn't you and your dog win a national award up in Vegas?
Yeah, we got a few awards and trophies.
So,
I gotta talk on that mic. That's not my favorite.
So, Chad, I believe you had the first full-time dog, right?
We had a K9 right before Nico. Nico's the actual second K9, but I like to brag about it. The first actual apprehension, so kind of cool.
And Nico is retired, but it's with Chad at home.
Yep, he's home right now. Him hangs out with the family, and he's kenneled still. And then whenever we get home, he likes to play with the kids, and he's retired, gets to hang out.
So yeah,
Yeah, and as you know, again, it's the Oktoberfest is their main fundraiser. They raise a ton of money for this, and it goes 100% to that purpose, to purchase dogs, train dogs, supply the training and continued education that they need and the handler needs. So without it, it really would struggle. And so I encourage every one of you, buy tickets, be involved, and if you want to just donate money, you can just do that. Anna, yes?
The cost of one dog.
The cost of one dog is?
what is it now, 22,000 still?
Yeah, you're looking at over 20,000, 22,000 to get through it. I thought that was absolutely insane. And then whenever I went to school and got my dog and got the bloodline of that dog, my dog came from Europe. And whenever I got them, their performance level, I mean, my cousin Daniel could vouch for it, is just, it's a whole nother, it's not a normal dog. That still till this day, whenever I leave in my patrol car, Nico is spinning in his kennel ready to go to work. They're absolutely amazing. So they are very expensive, high performing, but yeah, 22,000. And you're talking every single week that handler is training with that dog. The first week of the month, they train for 8 hours with our vendor from LA. And then every week after that, for the remainder of the month, is 4 hours. So every single week that handler is training with that dog with the group. And every single day that handler is training with that dog just at home, because the dog is a machine. So.
All right. Tell them what
So it's well worth it, yes. And I know we could have a ton of questions, but yes.
No, I don't have a question, but I was gonna say, also, don't you have additional costs incurred for the vehicle that has to be specially?
I was just gonna say that we've also paid for the upfit of the vehicle. So the city does provide the vehicle, but a K9 car is different than your regular patrol car. I believe, what is it, $6,000 upfit?
The upgrades.
And there's a button on the handler's belt that they could push a button that it releases one of those back doors. I've used it on a few occasions where I needed help, and you have immediate assistance right there. There's a heat alarm to where if it gets over 95 degrees, it starts going off and notifies dispatch. There's a lot that goes into just the car alone, absolutely.
The dog is an amazing tool, but it takes that type of maintenance to have it. But again, this foundation is providing funds also to make sure that that's properly equipped. Karen, did you have something? Kimber.
You said that your dog is retired. If you get another canine, with you being a canine officer, will you end up with another dog too? Are you going to continue being a canine officer?
I've been out of it for a little bit now. I'm a corporal. So the way it works at the police department is you could be a corporal with a K9 or lower. Not necessarily a sergeant. My goal is to hopefully promote at some point. But running a dog was absolutely the funnest, best part of my career. But having Nico at home, I would just put another kennel next to his kennel. I have a few acres, so it's not that insignificant.
Anyway, thank you very much. God bless you guys. I appreciate what you do. We have again, the 1776ers, we do fundraisers, to raise money for causes. And this is one of the causes that we love to donate. This is a check for $800 given to the K9 Foundation. Thank you for what you do. God bless you guys, and keep up the work. Thank you. Hey, Chad, check your Uncle Larry's wallet. Yeah, I mean, maybe you'd be able to get a whole dog out of that. Oh, he didn't bring his wallet. Oh, of course he didn't. Yes, Cassie, come on up. Crossroads Pregnancy Center. Come in. We really don't want to bombard you with so much, all this knowledge and stuff, but just think about it. There are a lot of great organizations that make a community ours, that make it yours. And these are part of them. These are the organizations that are in our town that are stepping out above and beyond what you do normally to give back to the community to make them better. And so I just thank God for each one of you. Of course, this is one of my favorite ones here, a special friend, and your hair looks so nice. I wonder who does that. Wow. Oh, you got one right there. You take that.
this one. Thank you, Adam. I'm Catherine Enlow, Director representing Crossroads Pregnancy Center, and thank you so much for inviting me and for, again, blessing the center again this year with your just gracious gift. Just wanted to briefly, hopefully won't take very long, but just want to kind of share what we do at the center, why we exist. We are a Christian, nonprofit, pro-life organization. We were established in 1985. We're going to be celebrating 40 years next year of ministry. We have 3 paid staff and over 20 plus wonderful volunteers. We're governed by a 5-member board and overseen by 2 national affiliation groups, NIFLA, which is the National Institute of Family Life Advocates. They are a legal arm, and also Heartbeat International. I don't know, you may have heard of Heartbeat International in the news, especially in California with a lawsuit from Attorney General Bonta, but I can talk about that more in a minute. So anyway, we operate solely on just the gracious donations of individuals, organizations, and churches in our area. We do not seek nor do we receive any federal or state funding. So all that we do is what we do without any government interference. We host 2 annual fundraisers in the year. The first one is Changing Babies. You may have been a part of that in your church, where you get little baby bottles, fill them up with coin. Between Mother's Day, we have that. Turn back. So the mission of Crossroads Pregnancy Center is to share the love of Christ in word and deed with anyone who's experiencing an unplanned pregnancy, post-abortion syndrome, or lifestyle distress. And what we want to do is we want to empower women to make a well-informed choice when it comes to a decision about her pregnancy. And in so doing, we offer self-administered hospital-grade pregnancy tests. We offer her pregnancy options information if she is considering abortion. We talk about it. We talk about what types of abortion there are. She already has an idea of what she wants to do, but we tell her about how each abortion procedure works, what the ramifications are, what the side effects are, and also what happens afterwards, especially with the life of the baby. We educate that this is a life. It's a human life created in the image of God, loved by Him, and we are there to help her. If she plans to keep the baby, we're there to support her materially. We have an on-site mom store to help her, and just with advocacy support every week if she needs that. We also offer post-abortion support too for women who've had an abortion and are suffering from that decision. We help her through that healing process through some studies that we offer. And then the third vein of the ministry really is our parenting program. It's called Earn While You Learn. It's for any parent, couples, any age children that need parenting classes or just want that support. And all of our services at the center are free and confidential. But I wanted to take a minute, so that's kind of overview what we do, but I wanted to take a minute to, as you know, we're in a election climate where we're hearing all kinds of information, and I just wanted to just share with you a little bit of what's happening. You may have already know, especially in California. California is not a friend to the pro-life movement or pregnancy centers. There have been 10 pregnancy centers in California that have been sued by Attorney General Bonta because they do not want us speaking about abortion pill reversal. Abortion pill reversal is an option that we tell the women about if they do want to take the abortion pill, that if she changes her mind after she takes that pill, there's hope. There's about 64 to 68% chance that she could save that baby through abortion pill reversal. So we explain what that is to her. But the Attorney General does not like that. So currently, Attorney General Bonta has sued Heartbeat International, which is our national affiliate, and Real Options. They're a center up in the Bay Area, and also 9 other centers. So that's current right now. But what happened last week in the news in New York, there was a similar case by Letitia James. She's the Attorney General for New York. She sued 11 pregnancy centers for the same thing, to shut them down, to squelch their freedom of speech to talk about abortion pill reversal. But praise God, last week the federal district judge, his name is Judge Sinatra, he ruled in the pregnancy center's favor. He ordered a preliminary injunction, which means that the Attorney General cannot squelch the free speech of the pregnancy centers. So that's a huge win. And that's going to be, that's going to trickle over into California too. But I wanted just to real briefly summarize a couple of bills that are currently happening up at the state that you want to be aware about. The first one is, this has already been signed. Abortion in Arizona has, laws have been placed to outlaw abortion there. So what California has done is welcome the abortionists from Arizona to perform them here in California. But currently what the legislation in Sacramento, legislators are doing in Sacramento, the first one is they want to establish laws to circumvent local zoning ordinances so that developers can establish abortion clinics. That's AB 2085. That's important because counties, jurisdictions, depending on the zoning of the land, if it's not zoned medical, a medical facility can't be built on that piece of property. The legislators are trying to circumvent that and push forward anyway. So that's one to watch. The second one is they want to create an awareness campaign to publicize the state abortions website to the general public. Think schools, medical facilities, etc. And they have it's abortion.ca.gov. They want to push that in the public arena. And then the third one is they want to expand access to reproductive and sexual health in all emergency rooms across California, and that's AB 2490. These are just a few of what's happening here. As we know, the Dobbs decision that happened a couple years ago that remanded abortion back to the states, reversed Roe v. Wade. California has just increased its fervency in promoting abortion. It's now enshrined in our Constitution. So we're in a war, and the pregnancy centers are in the crosshairs because we are kind of the barrier between the woman and the abortion clinic, or the place online where she can get what she needs to complete her abortion. So anyway, that's all I have, but I just want to share that with you, and I just want to thank you so much. Pray for us. Pray for the centers in California. Thank you. Because without life, we're going to be hearing a lot of candidates speak. Listen to where they stand on life, because without life, we don't exist. The next generation won't exist.
That is a great point. We need to put every person running for office, that needs to be their platform. We need to find out where do they stand on that, and we need to get people unelected that have a different opinion. Kathy, thank you. God bless you. And the 1776ers want to honor. This is a check for $800, and we know it goes to good use. And we look forward to helping you next year. Thank you. Okay, Path to Hope. This is a new one. We have first time we have donated. So please come on up. And you are?
I'll use this one. Hi, I'm Gabrielle Godino, and I am the founder of Path to Hope. We've been around since 2019, and what we do is we work with people of all ages and abilities through equine-assisted horsemanship therapy and learning. So our mission, and I put a lot of these flyers or little brochures in the back if you guys want more information on it. We are super grateful, or I'm super grateful to be here. We have recently started some groups called, one is what we're going to be using this donation for is for our Hope for Heroes program, where we don't charge any veterans to come to our center and focus on their mental health and get help with their mental health. So we've been able to keep these groups full, and what we're very proud of is that it's a wide range of people. It's from the younger veterans, as young as 21 years old, all the way up to our senior veterans as well. So we're all very, very grateful to be here, and if you have any questions for me, I will be sticking around.
Well, great.
Awesome.
Are there any questions? Yes.
Yes.
Can you just explain briefly what they do with the horses, what they're able to experience?
Oh, the veterans, for the
Yes.
veterans group. So what we do is we start off with the equine assisted activity that is either working on like, team leadership kind of stuff, and also working on building confidence, building up their morale and their camaraderie as a group, because it's a group of 10 and we work together as a group. And then at the end of that session, we have a mental health professional that comes and we do a group psychotherapy session together with horses present. So it's about a 3-hour group that we hold. We try to hold once a month, but with the community support, we're hoping to have it more than once a month. And we're also doing a Hope for Caregivers. So that is going to be a group that's going to be focused on caregivers, because I feel in this area especially we don't have a lot who are helping those who are taking care of our disabled, whether it's mental or physical disability. So we want to provide that kind of support as well for them as well.
Awesome. And the one pun that they do not allow during their training is there's no horsing around.
Oh, we love horsing around.
No
What do you
horsing
mean?
around, man.
We're all about horsing
Do
around.
do not.
Tell her what you want, Adam.
What? God bless you.
Thank you so
No,
much.
$800. Enjoy. I hope that goes to work. And the 1776ers, we love what you're doing.
Yes.
We thank you and keep it up.
And we'll go to the Hope for Heroes program. Thank you.
Amen. All right. Oh,
We got one check left. This goes to an organization that we're very familiar with. This is going to the, excuse me, sir. This is going to the Hanford John Birch Society. That John Birch Society of Hanford or Kings County is ran by Adam Medeiros. So that's something that he can tell you a little bit about. We have a couple minutes, and awesome group. If you want to learn about the Constitution, if you want to learn about your rights and amendments, that is the man. And Adam looks lost, or he's playing one of those games where you shop for 30 minutes, or I'm not sure what's going on.
I know it. No, and just making it real quick. God bless you. Thank you. You know, I got in my heart a couple of years ago that the problem we have is that it's not that we need to rewrite the Constitution. We have to honor and learn the Constitution and do what it says. And so 2 years ago, we started where every 8th grader coming out of in Hanford received a Constitution. This was the second year now. This will be our 3rd year, going to go this school year. And we will put a Constitution in the hand of every 8th grader so they can take it. In 8th grade, they study it. They study the Constitution. But John Birch puts out these constitutions. It's the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. They're able to take it home, almost like a keepsake, but they'll know they have the highest law of the land under our Bible is our Constitution. And so we give this to every 8th grader and encourage them to know it, to understand what it says, and know that this is what our government should be run like. And so that is who the John Birch Society is. We do classes. We're planning this year to do classes now for junior high that will begin to teach them a little bit more, some of the stuff that schools just aren't pushing as hard. And I believe we're going to do some here. We're going to get a little bit more active to make sure that teenagers are hearing, learning, and understanding their rights under the United States Constitution. So that's who the John Birch Society is. We meet on every 3rd Wednesday at my house. It's open to everybody. Right now we are going over, this year we're going over the amendment of the Constitution. 27 amendments, and we're going to break them down and just begin to we just teach you what they say, why they said it, what it's supposed to be, and how it's being manipulated today.
Well, on behalf of 1776 Sons of Liberty, Adam, we'd like to present you with an $800 donation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's it for our donations tonight. We would like to add that although we didn't live stream last week, we also gave checks to Armona Refuge House. Brian, what was the name of that group? Our Heroes Dreams. King's Christian Gala.
The gala.
And one more. What was the...
Oh, we're bad, boy. I can't think of it.
Okay. Anyhow, we gave plenty of donations last week also, and we've committed to giving a donation to the Marine Corps League and Honor Flight for our after our Veterans Day AR-15 raffle, so make sure and participate in that. All that money goes to a veterans organization or the other. And that being said, Tom is going to go on an honor flight. Tom, one of our very own, is going on honor flight September 16th. Is that right, Tom? And Tom has a QR code that we'll share on our page. You can follow his journey. And it's just another great organized family country, positive organizations for our veterans, for our police, just awesome organizations. Young people, I mean, you name it, we've picked them. We've worked for some with quite a few years. And then also in the springtime, we'll have our scholarship. We'll do another AR-15 raffle. All that money will go to high school senior scholarships. Okay, this year we've committed to giving $750 scholarships, 5 of them. So, but they're not free. You got to work for it. We're going to require an essay or something patriotic. All right.
It was nice last year. We required them. They had to write a 750-word essay on the first 2 amendments, either the first or the second amendment of the Constitution. And they did great work. They did really good work.
All right. So we got one more speaker tonight. One more announcement, too. The Republican women of Kings County have a Trump store over behind the yeah, that's right. It's on 11th in Grangeville, kind of, that corner, right? It's behind the Taco Bell where... I
like to say it's behind Fashion Cleaners.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's
behind Fashion Cleaners, man.
Another great local establishment.
Yeah, Fashion Cleaners was awesome. They let them put the Trump headquarters sign pointing right to the back. It was right where it's at.
All right.
Wait, can I get to... Is it time to introduce the last speaker?
Yeah, I just want to make sure, Craig, we're good. All right, it's all you, Adam.
All right. Well, I get the